Hey, beautiful souls, beautiful sunshine, here with you, our holistic healer, aka Sonia B. I am back with another prophetic message. So I am up early as always, and I am getting this message into you early. I received the message last night, and I received some messages this morning. So anyway, with all that being said, I'm just going down my list of things to do. I walked the dog, got up early to walk the dog this morning, like around 5 or whatever the case may be. So anyway, now I'm getting you guys messaging before I try to get a little bit of work done so I can finish up the project that I've been working on. But anyway, so with all that being said, I just want to bring to you guys attention. If you're new to my channel, I just want to say welcome. And if you're returning, I just want to say welcome back. And I hope these messages have been beneficial for you. And yeah, so anyway, with all that being said, thank you so much. If you guys feel like my story resonates with you guys, feel free to leave a comment down below. I know if two other people have made a comment. Thank you so much for those people, as well as, again, it means a lot to me because it lets me know that, I mean, I know the messages are resonating with people, but if people don't say anything, I don't know. But, not only that, but sometimes it's helpful to see comments in the comment section. Not saying that I have to see them, because I don't have to be validated by the comments. But yes, I am grateful for the comments. Let me say that. But I just think when people see comments, people are able to see that they're not the only ones going through a situation, that other people are also, experiencing a situation too, that lets them know that they're not alone too. So it's not more so for the benefit of myself, although I am grateful for it because it lets me know that the message resonates, but it also helps other people too, to let them know that they're not the only ones going through. So feel free to drop a comment in the comment box if you feel free to. Anyway, so with all that being said, I just want to say, keep in mind that these energies could be happening to you presently, or these energies are about to start happening to you, or they could have already started happening to you, but I feel like they're about to start happening. And the other messages, I also want to say too, or it could be happening for you probably like 2 weeks out or 3 weeks out. But anyway, and keep that in mind as well too. So I also want to piggyback off something I said yesterday too. I was referring to about no longer will people be able to benefit off other people. No longer will people be able to benefit off other people. But I say all that to say that I actually heard someone that I actually listened to yesterday, and her name is Your Angelic Karma. But anyway, I listen to her a lot sometimes, her stories or whatever, because I feel like her and I are on the same path or whatever the case may be. But she actually had explained something, and it was kind of like what I was talking about yesterday when I said talking about people benefiting off other people. Well, she explained her story. I'm not going to say exactly what her story was, but she was just talking about two experiences that she had throughout her life, where she kind of had to intervene on other people's behalf. And I'm not going to say in what way. If you want to hear her story, I guess you can go to her channel so you can hear it straight from her, her mouth herself. Because one thing I've always been saying on my journey, I be asking people to not, especially family and other people, I ask people to not to tell my business. And I say business because I feel like allow other people to tell their own stories, because there's something about when other people tend to tell other people's story, they somehow misconstrued it up or whatever the case may be. But it's something beautiful just about allowing other people to share their own personal stories. It doesn't come in the form of gossiping. It's coming in raw. It's raw. Oh God, I'm like lost for words. It's like so many things when you just hear it from that person yourself rather than hearing it from other people. Because when it's coming from that person, the intentions are pure because they understand, they know what they've been through. Unlike when somebody else is sharing the story, they kind of minimize it in the sense of, devaluing the story, but it really has a lot of significance to it. So anyway, if you care to hear her story, feel free to go to her channel and shout out to Angelic Karma and hear her story. But her situation was also a situation of how people had benefited off of her as well too, just in general. And that's just another example. But anyway, so with all that being said, and I was just like, wow, because God was just kind of showing me, it just goes to show you when you ask God a question, it's like things just start to unfold. And again, it didn't happen right away, because I know I asked God for like 2 weeks or whatever, and I kept just saying, Lord, please show me how is it that, because at first I kind of swept it underneath the rug when I received the prophetic message. But then after some time, it really started to sit in, and I was like, wait a minute, I just literally started sitting back and just observing the environment, observing things, observing people, observing, just the changes that was taking place. And I'm like, wow. I was like, how is it that other people are benefiting, but I find myself not benefiting? I didn't understand that. So, God was just showing me the things that people were doing. And, as of yesterday, I got in the revelation, no more, no more, no more, no more. Anyway, so, as I said before, no more pacifying people, no more of, no more, no more of, no more, no more. Anyway, let me move on, because I don't want to get caught up with that message again. But I truly believe that God is going to also show you, I believe that God is also going to keep revealing to me, whether it be myself or whether it's you guys too, keep revealing to you just how people, were able to do so, if you choose to know so. But me, I just know I like to understand what's going on. So I do ask God a lot of questions, and I have that personal relationship with God as if he's like my BBF. And I say BBF because I say my best friend. And I know that's so old, but it's okay. But anyway, so with all that being said, let me get into the prophetic message. So this morning, or excuse me, last night, I received the message. I wasn't too fond of this one. This one kind of disturbed me just a little bit, because I hope it's not a situation that, that anybody has to deal with. But, if we should, I ask God that God give us the strength to deal with whatever it is that we need to deal with. But anyway, so I received the message. Yeah, I had like 5 different messages that came through between last night and this morning. But anyway, so the message I received last night was, I had received, it was a message as if I had received a phone call, and it was pertaining to, I can't really say exactly who it was pertaining to, but I got a message, and I got a message from somebody who was passed over, who, like, in the physical life, who has really passed over to the other side. And sometimes they communicate with me, should I say. And he had came to me last night and said, hey, yeah, I've been trying to get in contact with you like all this week or whatever. And he was like, I just want to let you know that it's not good. It's not good. It's not good. And that's what I heard him saying, that it wasn't good. Something wasn't good. I'm not exactly sure what the situation is. And excuse me, I'm cracking my knuckles. I'm not as sure exactly what the situation is or who the situation is pertaining to. But I just want to let you guys know that some of you guys are going to find yourself dealing with a situation that is where somebody is going to be telling you that something is not looking good. I'm not sure exactly what it is, and for everybody the situation may be different. Take it how it resonates. Yeah, so I can't really say, because I wasn't really given full details. So I guess it's just a matter of just kind of staying open, going with the flow. More importantly, just try to keep it calm. Because I remember, like, in the dream, I felt myself as if I was crying. Like, I was crying because I was sad. And the reason why I was sad was because I was hearing something wasn't looking good. So again, just try to remain calm about the situation. Try not to freight over the situation. Don't start worrying about the situation. Just trust that a higher power is leading you and guiding you, and has your back, and has your highest good at heart, or whatever the case may be. So just keep that in mind, because I know after I received that dream, I just had to start praying, because I didn't know what that was looking like. I didn't know in what shape or form it was coming in. Excuse me. Excuse me. Got a dry cough, y'all. Excuse me. So anyway, but so I just wanted to let you know that some of you guys are going to find yourself dealing with a situation that you may, and it may not even be pertaining to you. It could be pertaining to someone that's close to you, or it could be, somebody within, your energetic field or whatever the case may be. So, meaning like friends, family, co-worker, or whatever, but anyway, keep that in mind. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. And then I received another message also too, like, you guys, I was told to tell you guys to get comfortable, but don't get too comfortable, but get comfortable. But I think this is a case that God wants you to get comfortable. That doesn't mean like let all of your boundaries down that you have set up for yourself, but get comfortable with the fact of being around people that you're not used to being around, is what I was hearing. Yeah, people that you're not used to being around. So with that being said, it's funny because when I was pre-shuffling these cards, a couple of cards had kind of, I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know why this particular eye and this eyelash keep playing with me, but then every time I look in the mirror, I don't see anything. But anyway, yeah, when I was shuffling these cards, a message came out, and I explain that to you in a minute when I do shuffle the cards. But anyway, so yes, get comfortable with being around people that you aren't used to being comfortable around. And when I say that, I mean like people, from what I'm hearing, is people who you may have felt like they were odd, people who you may felt like maybe you may have left them out for whatever particular reason that you chose to isolate them because they didn't fit. What I'm hearing is because they didn't fit in your group type, should I say. People, what I'm hearing is like people they consider like misfits or whatever, is what I'm hearing. That I'm just saying what I hear. But you know people, and I'm also hearing too that people who are unique and different in their own ways, sometimes you don't understand why they're the way that they are, but get used to being around those type of people, because you never know what you may find in the midst of. What I'm seeing is, like how you see diamonds, when diamonds are buried down into the soil, the ground, or wherever it is that they find diamonds, and then you start to pull back the dirt off the diamonds. It's like what I was hearing was like the diamonds in the rough. So, oh yeah, so get used to that. But anyway, so some of you are going to find yourself dealing with a situation that, I guess, where you might have been a little prejudice or judging people, based off of who they are or just their appearance or how they, just their demeanors or whatever the case may be. Some of you guys you're gonna start probably finding yourself within those vicinity of these people, and you're gonna realize it's almost like you're gonna come from a mindset of being non-judgmental or being prejudiced towards certain type of people, should I say. And this does not include the same individuals that we were referring to. So don't get it confused with the people who you were being let go of, because sometimes, the unexpected comes in unique and different packages, is what I'm hearing. But anyway, let me move on from that message. So the next message that I received, and this is how it was letting me know, kind of confirming what I was confirming about what it was talking about, getting comfortable, about being in the presence of people that you're not used to being around. So anyway, this dream was, it was as if like I was at my old condo, like our old condo when we was growing up as a kid, like around teenager or whatever. So I was like sitting out on the deck, the patio. I was sitting out on the patio, and I was noticing the parking lot. Instead of the parking lot looking like it was black and white, the black tar with the white stripes for people to park their cars in. Well, everything was not black and white like it should have been. Instead of it being black and white, it was, oh wow, just got revelation. Instead of it being black and white, black and white meaning the opposite of each other, is what I'm getting like now, kind of like the yin and the yang. But now it's more so of like, instead of the parking lot being black and white, it was carpet. Everything was carpet, like the whole parking lot was carpet. And it was like that tan kind of beagle-ish color, kind of like them tan khakis that a lot of people wear. It was like that color, and it was kind of almost like it was like glistening a little bit, just a little bit. But then I saw a lady kind of like looked like she was exercising, but she was just kind of walking like she was walking around the parking lot or whatever the case may be. So I know that colors are significant in dreams or whatever the case may be. So I had to go to Google and Google the different colors. You know, I know what some of the colors mean, but this tan and beagle color, I've had this dream before with this color in it as well too. But because carpet showed up and I wasn't quite for sure exactly what the carpet meant, but it makes sense. So anyway, so it basically said the carpet represents thoughts and emotions focused on royalty and comfort, luxury and relaxation. So if you think about carpet, you know, we rub our feet in it, and you know, and I basically looked at the meaning of carpet in a dream, only because I don't really understand the method of what a carpet really represents, so I had to definitely Google that. But most of them said the same thing too. um and then the other important thing was the color of the carpet. So it was saying that the beagle color might represent getting back to the basics. Nudity, meaning like being stripped of something, because that's coming next. So it's almost like, and this goes back to what I was saying earlier about, you know, get used to being in the presence of other people that you're not normally used to being in. So it's almost like there's being like a cleansing, a wiping away of getting rid of a certain mindset. But anyway, it says the beagle might represent getting back to basics, nudity, being stripped, and setting something or self in its barest form. Could also represent having a neutral or unbiased position or opinion of something. So that kind of relates back to the dream that I had prior to that. So keep that in mind. So some of you guys have been like on this journey, and I know it's been a little rough because Lord knows, like 2018, and then we hear the thing. I know, like 2018, oh my God, like that was the confirmation. See how those synchronicities come in? Pay attention to certain things you say when you hear those kind of notifications taking place. But anyway, I actually got this tattooed on my arm in 2018. Was it 2018 or did I do it 2019? No, I did it in 2018. 2018 I did it, and it was around November in 2018. And I started to put 2018 in it because it says life is a journey, and it has a butterfly beside it, because oh my God, that was like a really complicated year for me. 2018, 2019, 2020 got so much better, in 2021 it's been a whole lot better. So I'm seeing the progression or whatever the case may be. But anyway, that was my hardest year. 2017. I'm not going to even say the years prior to that wasn't, you know, because it was. I had so many different challenges, but 2018 and 2019 hit home the most, you know. But anyway, so with all that being said, yeah, some of you guys are going to go back to how it was like you used to be. It's all a part of that whole awakening. You know, awakening to who you really are and who you were really meant to be, and not so much as who you have been these last 3 years, because that wasn't your true authentic self. But anyway, it's like getting back to the basics, as I said, you know, the whole not being biased but being neutral in a process. But anyway, let's move on to the next message. So this next message I received, you may see a situation, I'm not sure, it could possibly happen to someone, you know, someone, I'm not sure who, you know, I don't want to speak this over anyone, but I'm just telling you what I saw, just to be mindful. If you are a female archetype, just be mindful of how you hold your purse, how you carry your purse, because I saw in a dream as if somebody had kind of stole someone's purse, because I saw this lady kind of wandering, like she looked like she was chasing somebody. She looked like she was a little older in age, but she looked like she was trying to chase someone. And then it was as if this person saw her trying to run, but they didn't know why she was running, because I guess her run looked like it was a little distressed or whatever the case may be, like she was chasing after something. But and then I felt like the guy was looking at her, and then all of a sudden he asked her, well, what was going on? Is she okay? And she said, that man stole my purse. So he drove his car, because he rode his, I guess his window was down, and he asked her what was wrong, and she told him. So he drove his car across the parking lot, to try to find out where the man was. So he saw him running, so he went in that direction that he was in. I'm not sure exactly what the outcome was because it didn't finish, because it kind of switched scenes a little bit. And then it went from the same man who was chasing the other man to a scene of him asking and inquiring somebody who was standing on the street. They wasn't just standing on the street, but basically he was asking the person, he asked him what was he selling, because I guess he had like a little venue, a little tent set up. It wasn't a tent, but you know how people set up tables and they're kind of selling stuff on the streets or whatever the case may be. But anyway, yeah, so he asked the dude what he was selling. So what I had gotten from that is some people are going to find themselves being, I'm not going to say heroic, but some people are going to find themselves being of service to other people. Now, I'm not, and take it how it resonates, because you're going to know if you're being divinely guided to react or not to react. So take it how it resonates. I'm not telling anyone to react or whatever the case may be, but what I am telling you is you're going to be divinely guided of if you should react or if you should not be reacting. So don't take this message as you hear me say this and you're supposed to react. No, that's not what I'm saying, because you're going to know if you're being compelled to act or not, is what I'm trying to say. Because you're going to be divinely guided. You're going to feel like there's a force that's telling you, go do this, go do that, is what I'm saying. And then this last message came through is, okay, so the message I received with this last message, some of you guys have been trying to meditate, is what I'm seeing. Some of you guys have been trying to get in that practice, but you've also been noticing that there has been distractions of things that have been distracting you in the process. And it could be, things like a cell phone. It could be things like, maybe something or a phone call. It could be, other people is what I'm hearing. People, people doing things. And it's almost seemed like it kind of almost seemed like they were just like, oh, you find this time to start doing this when I start meditating, in a sense. So some of you may start to notice that, and you may have start noticing that the moment that you go and try meditate, it seems like all these distractions are taking place, is what I'm hearing. Keep in mind, those distractions are there just to only test you. It's another initiation, if you will say, like, are you going to continue on, as I said before, or are you going to give up? So even though the distractions may come, just make it a point of staying steadfast, because basically the divine spirit of light is just basically testing you, from what I'm hearing, is just to see whether you're going to keep allowing these things to distract you, or you're going to get rid of these things so that you can try to focus on having that time that, that one-on-one time that giving God or whatever. But anyway, so that's all the message that I have. And yeah, so keep that in mind. I did see, it was so many distractions, but it came in a form of if somebody was like, let's just say at a studio, and this is just an example of how it came in. So this is not going to apply to everybody, because you could be in your own home and these things could be happening, but it through a different way. So I saw as if like maybe someone was like in like a yoga type studio and they had like a little meditation time, but then I saw this like a janitor came through there and he took a whole blow up mattress that looked like it was kind of wet underneath of it and just dragged it through like the different walkways of the mat, but even some of the water kind of got on other people's mat. So I say all that to say that's the form that it came in. So just keep in mind of distractions and things distracting you from the time that you're trying to spend and dedicate to God during your meditation time, for his people, things, and notifications on phones, noise or whatever. I'll be honest with you, take it how it resonates. For me, I block out all distractions. That's all I'm gonna say. Even if I had to put notes up on my bedroom door, telling my kids, like, do not bother me until, I am up. If you're not hurt, bleeding, or whatever the case may be, it can wait. But anyway, so that's what works for me. So if you're at home or wherever it is that you may be trying to get a little peaceful, quiet time, and you may notice the little distractions, and you're just going to have to keep working with it, because basically God just trying to see that, are you going to allow these distractions to distract you, or are you going to just try to, keep persevering forward. But anyway, let's get into these quick messages so I can do what I need to do for the rest of the day. Thank you, Divine Spirit of Light, for this message for the collective. I'm using these Akashic cards guys. Divine Spirit of Light, what message do you have for the collective that is of pure white light? Excuse me. Pure unconditional love only. What message do you have for the collective that is of pure white light and pure unconditional love only? Fire, air, water, and spirit. Universe protection, mind, body, soul, spirit. I need you to know activities, physical, spiritual, and emotional. What message do you have that is for the collective that is of pure white light and pure unconditional love only? This deck is so thick, y'all. So bear with me here because my hands are so small. So the King of Rose. And I'm going to read the book for this one. Some of you guys are going to start noticing just the beauty in life in general. Oh, this book is so complicated. Give me a minute, y'all, because these aren't this order of this. King of Roses, 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 roses. Queen of Roses, King of Roses. Okay, so the King of Rose. The card shows a man holding two roses, a red and a white, demonstrating a balance of passion and purity. And we talked about that earlier. We said not being prejudiced and not being biased. At his feet are the yellow roses of healing and creativity. This is the King of Love, a man who is balanced and well-rounded. When he appears upright in your spread, it indicates that a potential union could be at hand, either a friendship, business, or even romance. Whether this is a new relationship or the blossoming of an old one, this man brings tender-hearted and thoughtful support. He is also someone who could be helpful in your personal life, especially where home and family issues are concerned. Whether the King of Rose is whether the King of Rose is you or another man, the role of a husband or a father is now opening to creative, happy homes and family. This card also lets you know that you are ready to stand up for yourself and to take loving but considerate action on your own behalf. It is a time of increasing love and compassion, which always starts within. So remember, it always starts within. So love, again, as I said before, how can you love yourself how can you love somebody else if you haven't first loved yourself first? Because if you haven't loved yourself and you're trying to love somebody else, you don't even know what love is. But anyway, I'm not going to pull any more of those cards because that book is so thick. And as I said before, so let's move right on to the next one. And that deck, that book is so thick, and the way that they have them section off, and it's not like you're looking for them in alphabetical order. It's just, they section it according to certain archetypes. Divine Spirit, what message do you have for the collective? We thank you for the healing of the families. We thank you for the healing of relationships, whether it be business, friendship, family, husbands, wives, whatever the case may be, whether it be old, whether it be new. We thank you in advance, and we show gratitude. We show gratitude, and we show much gratitude. I ask you, what message do you have for the collective that you want the collective to know that is of pure white light and pure unconditional love only? What message do you have for the collective that is of pure white light and pure unconditional love only? What message do you have for the collective that is of pure white light and pure unconditional love only? light. My light radiates through my life in the world around me. It's almost similar to the King of Rose. The yellow flowers representing the light in a sense. Bear with me, y'all. Oh, okay. It says, you are the light and you come from the light. You illuminate the world. So rejoice and remember who you are. You have a physical form, but that's impermanent. At your source, your luminance lighted up. Your luminancy lighten up, Don't take things too seriously. Your soul wants you to know. Now is the time for you to shine and remember who you are, where you come from, your essence of radiant light. This is a good time to clear clutter, get rid of anything that you don't love or use. Clear out physical and emotional and mental junk in order to make space for for you to shine even brighter. And an affirmation that you guys can use for this card, it says, my light radiates through my life in the world around me. So you can just pause that and rewind it back if you need to, and write that down and do what you need to do if you choose to. But anyway, so keep that in mind. Yes, keep that in mind. I'm not going to pull any more cards because I'm not being compelled to do so, because I think Divine Spirit Light wants to leave it right there. But I actually have one more. Hold on, I have one more card that I want to pull. Divine Spirit of Light. What Reiki card or what Reiki message do you want the collectives to know? What Reiki message? Hold on, y'all. Oh, okay. Do you want the collective to know? What message do you want the collective to know? These cards be slipping all over the place. What Reiki message do you want the collective to know? Oh God, that's too many cards. But you know what? I'm going to listen. Anyway. So it says, positive expectations. Positive expectation. Expectations is a powerful attraction force. Expect the things you want and don't expect the things that you don't want. From the perspective of the law of attraction, what you resist, you attract. So whatever it is that you try to resist, you attract. And I actually did a message on this too some messages ago. I said whatever it is that you don't want to deal with, you're going to find yourself dealing with it. What you resist, you attract, because you are powerfully focused on it with emotions. So if there are things you don't want in your life and you keep resisting them by consistently thinking you don't want them, you'll actually be either bringing them into your life or keeping them there. So keep that in mind. And this next one says the basics of karma. We've probably all heard phrases such as you reap what you sow and treat others as you would like them to treat you. And each would seem to indicate that it's a good idea to be kind to others because then they are likely to be kind to us. This is the basics of concept of known as karma. So keep that in mind. Treat others how you want to be treated. Conscious choice. Everything is a choice in life. Anger is usually tied to responses in the past that are of little use to us as we grow, personally and spiritually, and it is generally triggered when someone or something fails to meet our expectations. Or sometimes even more important, when we don't come up to our own expectations. However, although it may feel uncomfortable to realize it, anger is a conscious choice and is often just as habitual reaction to a given set of circumstances. So we can choose not to be angry just for today. Keep that in mind. Everything is a choice. And this one is the right path. If you are feeling fearful, depressed, or pessimistic, this indicates that something is wrong. So again, I want to say this again because I know that some people are kind of experiencing this at this time. If you are feeling fearful, depressed, or pessimistic, this indicates that something is wrong in your life, or you are not going in the and you're not going in the right direction. I was about to say the light direction, the right direction. Whereas if you are feeling, enthusiastic, optimistic, or content, then you are on the right path, doing what you need to do, being who you really are. So keep that in mind. Depression, pessimistic, and being fearful are all signs that you're going in the wrong direction. You know that you're headed in the right direction when you're enthusiastic, you're optimistic, and that's an indication that you're on the right path, and you just feel just the beauty of life in a sense, and you're not feeling all of those other things that people don't want to feel. Our higher self. So some of us are stepping to some of you guys may find yourself stepping more into your higher self. Our higher self, sometimes referred to as our inner self or soul, that is very wise part of ourselves, that is totally loving and supportive and always working with us for our greatest and our highest good, by subtly guiding us and providing us with intuition and deep insight, whether we choose to acknowledge it and act on its inner wisdom or ignore it. So just know that we have a higher self and it's always there leading us, but we got to stop, listen, and we got to stop, listen. It's like that stop, drop, and roll. Stop, listen before you react. And then the last one says practice happiness. Practice happiness because as His Holiness, the Dalai Lama says, the purpose of life is to be happy. So practice happiness because as His Holiness, the Dalai Lama says, the purpose of life is to be happy. So even if you have to, I know at one point in time, those are all the message, guys. But even at one point in time, I will say that even if you have to practice happiness, like in the moment of even just, just practice happiness in the best way you can. I know for me, it's almost like I had to, just practice happiness in the best way that you can. See what works for you, because everybody's situation is going to be different. Because I know, like I be explaining to some people, sometimes what works for me may not work for you, but sometimes you have to find what works for you, because again, it may be different for everybody else. But anyway, I hope that message was helpful, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day and be productive. And remember to get those deadlines in, because yesterday a card I pulled, it was talking about deadlines. So whatever deadlines that the Divine Spirit of Light has given you to follow through on, just make sure you follow through on them. But with all that being said, I hope you souls stay beautiful, and remember, Thank you so much for visiting my channel. Feel free to make a comment down below, because by you making comments, it also can, again, help other people out, you know, if they're going through situations, and, you know, it's almost like, oh, I can relate to her story, you know, or his story. But anyway, with all that being said, I hope that message was very helpful, and I'm wishing y'all much love and much light on your soul's journey. And I say Namaste to you. And for those of you who don't know what Namaste means the light in me sees the light in you. And I say peace and blessings. Until next time. Bye.